to the compassion that you have and the energy and the drive that you have to help people. And I think it's clear that you've turned adversity and your own difficult experiences into turning that into something positive for other people who are going through similar things. And I don't think there's anything braver or more worthwhile in this life than doing that. And you're a living embodiment of that, so thank you, sir. And also, I want to thank your wonderful team at TRAC2 and for asking me to join you on this special evening. Now, I'm only sorry I can't stay long enough to show you my latest moves on the dance floor later, and to be able to see what Councillor Daniels might be able to throw a few shakes at the floor later as well. But I'm sure you'll have a wonderful time. So, TRAC2, the really amazing charity, and it is exactly that. It is really amazing. Tonight is a chance for us to be thankful and celebrate the work of a brilliant team and an incredibly resilient community. But I want to start tonight with a message you've heard Sue say time and time again. A message that sets the context for why we should be thankful, but not complacent. A message that for some is uncomfortable to hear. TRAC2 shouldn't exist. The Joseph Rowntree Foundation, a leading think tank on poverty in the UK, reports that almost 1 in 4 people in Wales are being trapped in poverty. Many of those in poverty in Wales are working, or are pensioners, young families, or single adults. It affects everyone. Communities like Torfaen see greater numbers trapped in poverty than some of the more affluent parts of South Wales. And to some in power, it's not seen as the priority for economic and social regeneration. But these communities do matter. Torfaen matters. You are some of the most resilient people and communities I have ever met. We're often told by UK government that work is the solution. But Welsh workers continue to endure the least take-home pay of anywhere in the UK. We're seeing the rise of the gig economy, unstable jobs, 0 hours contracts, and a poverty premium setting in around the communities who have the least resources. Life is hard, and for some people, it is very hard. For many of the people supported by TRAC2 in the past year, the idea of stable employment, a home, being able to socialise with friends and family, well, it's far from any reality that they are actually living. And yet, we see little from UK government that shows they care about those people, the ones who need our support the most. Worryingly, we are seeing a number of challenges from our own government in Wales too. Earlier this year, I came out fighting to call for leadership from our government when it was clear there was going to be an announcement of funding cuts that affected some of our most vulnerable people, those going through homelessness. Those threats haven't completely gone away. The impact of cutting communities first across Wales, the changes to local authorities, the fear of what our resettlement after Brexit will be, all of this makes life harder. When it was already too hard for too many in our communities. That is why TRAC2 exists. And that is why it will continue for some time. Sue leads a team, a community, a network of partners all stepping in to help people who have no other options in place. And for that, we should all give thanks. I know I do. It's because of the incredible work that you are doing in the place of others that I continue to support the work done by TRAC2. I am thankful for the work you do, but I am also frustrated because you do a lot of the heavy lifting that should be being done by other people and other organizations. So as thankful as I am that you do it and that you step up, you and your team, it also angers me that other people leave it to you to do. Later this year, I'll be working with Sue and the team on a piece for Channel 4 News, showing the impact of the poverty premium, welfare changes, and basic struggles in life that prevent many from being able to take advantage of any opportunities that come their way. all in the context of the wider work I'm now trying to achieve and deliver through the End High Cost Credit Alliance, a movement that I recently launched. Your resilience inspires me, but the stories you share with me only serve to add to a fury that I feel for the situation that our communities are facing. For some of the cases that you've heard about this evening, the extremes within those stories are things that should never have happened to those individuals in the first place. The worrying thing is that the past year shows us that these are no longer extreme cases, but are becoming the norm. For example, for many members of our community, a food bank is now part of their life, not just as a one-off point of crisis support, but as a long-term need. The crisis intervention delivered by the team and so brilliantly supported by the volunteers and community is saving lives. It is treating people with the dignity and the love that they deserve. And it is love. We tend not to talk about love publicly like this. We keep it for partners, for family, but there is another kind of love. And it's not a sentimental or a soppy or a romantic love. It is a tough love. It's a get your hands dirty love. It can sometimes be a furious love. And it is what gets things done when they need to be done. Whether it's as simple as ensuring that someone has a kettle and some electric just to make a cup of tea. Or someone who will talk to someone and show some solidarity, share their experiences, draw on what they've gone through, to be able to connect with someone who's going through it in that moment and feels like they might be alone. Or finding someone a home after years living on the streets. The interventions that TRAC2 deliver really, really matter. Now, I get to meet many incredible individuals and charities and communities across the country doing amazing things. But the first time I met Sue, back in 2016, has always stuck with me. You just can't forget her. For what she lacks in height, she more than makes up for in determination and fight. And my mother's only 4'11" and a half.
She's taller
so I
than
know what short women can do. She tirelessly gives every hour she has to ensuring that no call goes unanswered. And whilst we should all give thanks to the tireless work of Sue, of Hannah, of Dawn, of Rebecca, and the many volunteers and partners and members of the community, we should make one thing clear. The year ahead will be even harder. There will be an increase in need, and those needs will become more complex. It will get harder and harder to raise the vital funds for the work being done. The long-term impact of austerity, of universal credit, and wider welfare cuts will set in and affect more and more people. I urge you all, in all the different ways that you can and that you do, to keep supporting TRAC2, to keep donating items, keep contributing to the crowdfund campaigns, to challenge your political representatives and help amplify the voice of TRAC2. Back in October of 2016, I spent the day working alongside Sue as a volunteer, joined by one of the team at the Joseph Rowntree Foundation. Understanding the lived experience of the people that you supported that day gave me incredible insight into the work that you do. But it also opened my eyes to the challenges you face in growing as an organisation. So since then, I have supported TRAC2 in a number of ways. I've tried to bring media attention. I've put TRAC2 forward for awards that get the eyes of policymakers and funders and the general public. I've personally tried to contribute to some of the staffing costs. And I've asked partners to work with me in mapping the challenges and seeing how we can be more effective in helping you to become more sustainable. But the challenge is only going to get harder. So I will continue to use whatever platform I have to support your work. But we can all play a role in making your vital work a little bit easier. In the past year, as we heard, 4,437 items were donated by TRAC2 to bring some comfort and dignity to to people who really need it. It's an incredible figure. As Sue says, that is 243 households getting support. Where else would they have got that support if not for TRAC2? So, on this evening of thanks, I personally offer you this. My continued appreciation and admiration of the work you do. My sincere thanks and my pledge to do everything I can to keep supporting you in the year ahead. Thank you.